Hi, I'm Ian Loudon. Today I'm going to talk about Omniflex signal conditioning. The Omniterm range comprises three categories: signal isolators, signal conditioners, and limit alarms. The Omniterm range has got SIL approval, an EX rating, and has been substantiated by the emphasis program for use in the nuclear industry as a smart instrument. Omniflex has been designing signal conditioning since the early 1970s, and the Omniterm range simplifies signal conditioning, eliminating loads of inventory and putting single units into service where previously stock of large quantities of signal conditioners, all ranged differently, were kept in stock for contingency purposes. The benefits of Omniterm: one unit does all, so it's an easy replacement, minimizes your spares inventory holding. Obviously that comes with the benefits of financial incentive. The high reliability, SIL rated and nuclear industry approved, allows it to be applied in many varied applications. Minimizing your downtime is another key factor where replacement is very quick and easy. You reduce specialist technical expertise as calibration is handled, linearization is all on board and standard, and it's a simple case of downloading a template file to the unit. Configuration management: template files can be stored on your local PC and managed by instrument tag, number, and whatever plant system is in place for managing signal conditioners. The current loop isolators are used mainly to eliminate ground loop errors and isolation issues from the plant. There's a single channel unit, a dual channel unit. All the units are in a form factor of 22.5 millimeters wide housings. So the single unit consumed one 22.5, the dual has dual channels in the same space. There's a loop repeater, which is a powered unit, so power and signal, and enables the extension of current loops where driving voltage limits have been exceeded. The loop splitter is a useful product, particularly where plant needs to split a current loop, and this device will take one current loop in and provide two isolated independent current loops output. The insertion loss on loop isolators is less than 3 volts at 20 milliamps, 1500 volt isolation, and a feature is added to allow the creation of 1 to 5 volts for instrumentation that would previously require a shunt. So you can either have the 4 to 20 or a 1 to 5 volt output using that precision resistor on the output. Another unique product developed for the industry was surge protected isolators. Obviously the incentive is savings on space in terms of having isolators and surge protection. These surge protectors cover 2-wire and 4-wire devices. It protects 4 to 20 milliamp loops and switch inputs, i.e. your field contacts coming from the field. They're powered off 10 to 30 volts and will supply a field transmitter on its input. So it will supply 24 volts to a 2-wire transmitter located in the field. Also has your 1500 volt isolation and a built-in 10 kiloamp surge suppression circuitry. The flying lead takes the surge currents down to earth on a separate earth bar. One of the unique features of the 12-volt application of this unit is that it will still provide 24 volts on its input for two-wire transmitters in the field. The Omniterm Smart Series has 3-port isolation. Sensor linearization is standard, so your thermocouples and RTDs are all covered. Outputs, traditionally 4 to 20, but you can also have bipolar output or signal inversion as standard on the unit. It's all software configurable technology, making it very simple and easy to use. The units are designed to meet the criteria of IEC 61508 for SIL1 applications. They're also designed to meet EXIB criteria, and all the units are in a 22.5 mm DIN rail mounted housing. Smart transmitters. There are several different types. The TXB is a 4-wire transmitter, so 2 wires for power, 2 wires for signal, and a universal input. So it'll take thermocouples, RTDs, voltage or current on the input. A 2-wire transmitter does exactly the same thing, except it uses 2 wires only, so power and signal are done via the power line, so your 20 milliamp loops. Also has a universal input and takes your thermocouple RTD voltage and current directly. The TWA is for AC current and voltage and picked up off CTs and VTs in the field. The THZ is programmable 4-wire, and that, again, like the TXB, uses 2 wires for power, 2 wires for signal. All the transmitters made by Omniflex smart transmitters are SIL approved, EX and emphasis substantiated. Limiter alarm relays. There's a manually adjustable TTB, which allows via potentiometers on the front panel, adjustment of your set points. TTP is programmable, universal input, again, so it'll accommodate your thermocouples, RTDs, voltage and current inputs, and provides dual trips, so dual limit alarms. The TTT is the same unit with the addition of a retransmit output, and the THT is the same except with a frequency input and retransmit and dual trips. Configuration is via software, via your PC or laptop. OmniSet is free to download, and a jack plug, which is isolated to protect your PC, etc., from the field, has a jack plug which plugs into the front of the signal conditioners. Configurations are stored on template files, and you can choose whatever nomenclature you decide to categorize your instruments by. Often plant tag names are used, which are universal through the plant, and literally a spare unit taken out of stock will take 2 minutes to reconfigure and deploy to the field. The TFX is a special function analog computation module, and it covers a large array of functionality for signal conditioning on the plant. Signal conversions, inverters, unipolar, bipolar outputs, linearization, math functions, rate of change, tank linearization functions, tracking, so it'll do track and hold, peak and valley pickup, and integration. So we'll give you a pulse out either to linear output or square root. So for totalization type applications, a useful product that can be deployed into the plant. A complementary product that goes with the Omniterm signal conditioning is a power supply in exactly the same form factor as the modules, and that has a universal input of AC or DC 85 to 264 volts and an output of 24 volts at 600 milliamps. And it has a 50,000 hours design rating. Another useful product with signal conditioning is the battery backed up or power supply charger series, and that will cope with anything from 0.5 to 4 amp loads, and it will cover 12 volt or 24 volt backup systems, and in some cases 12 and 24 are covered where radio applications may be used using a 12 volt system, but your instrumentation is on a 24 volt system. The power supply chargers are temperature compensated, so they are rated for use in harsh environmental conditions. I urge you to visit our website, and if you follow this link below, you can download the data sheets or more technical material on the products. Thank you for listening.